Hey everyone, Thornton here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about HellDivers 2. You might have noticed that there's a brand new game mode in it, and if you haven't, we're going to talk a little bit about it. But along with that, we're also going to go over something that the devs have come out and said they will never be adding into the game, and whether or not it's going to hurt its future life. And we're going to go over whether or not adding that into the game is going to be good for the game's continued life cycle. But without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. So HellDivers has really shot out of the gate and has really been popular, at least for PlayStation players, and has actually broken into the top 10 on Steam. And a lot of that is due to the fun, intense cooperative gameplay against the automatons, and it recently got a pretty big expansion, which is great to see from the developers so quickly. It introduced players to new worlds threatened by the relentless onslaught of the robotic enemies. It's been aptly dubbed Robot Vietnam, which is absolutely hilarious to me, and the expansion brought forth a brand new game mode as well if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out. Apparently the robotic enemies are spreading across the galaxy, and you're tasked with defending new worlds and engaging in a defense-based mission where you gotta evacuate the citizens, and that becomes your critical objective throughout the game modes. It's a great way to actually add in more stuff that diversifies the gameplay, but already makes the high stakes battles a little bit more intense. And honestly, it's a great co-op game in its current state, and just adding more ways for us to play with our friends is always going to be optimal and fantastic to see in this game. The PvE experience in this really makes it worthwhile, and if you guys haven't checked it out, I know it's not like Call of Duty or the Finals or Apex Legends where you're against other players, but the PvE experience rivals that of, in my opinion, Palworld and other games where it's just a really fun time with your friends. And this has actually been emphasized by the CEO and creative director Johan Pilstedt, who's at the head of the developer of Arrowhead Game Studios, the maker of this game. And a lot of people have actually been asking, can you make this game player versus player, you know, PvP, just like those games I just mentioned? And Pilstedt has actually firmly asserted that they're never going to add a PvP mode for this game. So if you're hoping for that, it has been officially squashed. Apparently his reasoning stems from the desire to mitigate toxic elements within the gaming community, which prioritizes a supportive and enjoyable environment where players unite in the common goal of overcoming challenges. And to that I say, that's not really why a lot of people play video games. They just want to call each other names and hurl insults. But it is nice to see a developer actually stand up to it and say, nah, we're just not going to deal with it. In a recent Twitter exchange, Pilstedt actually addressed it, emphasizing the studio's stance on fostering the positivity that they want to build on, which is actually kind of admirable in my opinion. They're going away from where you would probably make a lot of easy money and instead saying, nah, we want to have a good game and a good community. He actually acknowledged the inherent toxicity associated with PvP modes in online gaming and said that Arrowhead's dedication to providing a space where players can have a challenging yet fulfilling experience without the detrimental effects of toxicity, which just aligns with Arrowhead's vision of HellDivers 2 as a cooperative venture. By maintaining that PvE approach, they're going to aim to cultivate a community where there's going to be a lot more respect and support, although I still actually highly doubt that, because no matter what, you're always going to have people saying, oh, you're throwing, or you're such a bot, you're not actually helping the team. So while it is a way to mitigate it, I will say there's no way you're going to get rid of it 100%. And while there is going to be some disappointment from players about the absence of the PvP modes, just based off the fact that they gave us more PvE content with the newest update and the Robot Vietnam, I think this game still has a very bright future. It may not be exactly what players want in terms of combat against other players, but by having a steady stream of new updates coming into the game and new ways to play it, this game will not be going anywhere anytime soon. It's nice to see a game so focused on the player experience and making sure that it's an enjoyable one. And with HellDivers 2 expansion into the Robot Vietnam territory, it's a good step forward for the franchise. You get new challenges and new adventures. You get defensive-based missions, which adds more depth to the gameplay. Overall, I'm very excited to see what Arrowhead continues to build on this, while I go ahead and get to play games like the Finals, Apex Legends for my competitive side. This is right now a great game to just hop in and play with your friends. Let me know down below, how do you feel about the new game mode that's just been put into HellDivers 2 and it expanding, and how do you feel about PvP never coming to the game? Do you think it will hurt it in the long term, or do you think that the game will be just fine without it? And also don't forget to check out these videos right here where I cover more news on pretty much every kind of video game stuff you guys want to know about. And until next time everyone, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.